Tom Holland's cinematic adventure as Spider-Man commenced with his impactful first appearance in Captain America: Civil War in 2016, setting the tone for the trilogy guided by Jon Watts that followed Holland's Peter Parker as he moved through the turbulence of high school, personal loss, and heroism. Spider-Man: Homecoming, released in 2017, captured the everyday challenges of adolescence alongside the pressures of superhero life, while Spider-Man: Far From Home in 2019 drove Peter through a journey of grief and transformation after the events that deeply affected him. Spider-Man: No Way Home, arriving in 2021, became a monumental event, merging Holland's version of the character with those portrayed by Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, breaking box office records and creating movie history by uniting three cinematic Spider-Men in one universe-shattering story. Holland once shared that he aspired to pass the Spider-Man mantle to Miles Morales before turning 30, but as Spider-Man 4 is set for theaters on July 31, 2026, he will be reaching that milestone himself, with Destin Daniel Cretton, known for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, stepping in to direct the new chapter. After the resolution of the Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA strikes, Holland confirmed during his appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon that the next Spider-Man production was officially underway, and Marvel together with Sony announced the film's title as Spider-Man: Brand New Day, scheduled for a summer 2026 release just a few months before Avengers: Doomsday, the major crossover event directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, which will feature Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU as Victor Von Doom or Dr. Doom, alongside a blend of returning fan favorites and new MCU heroes. Details about what awaits Peter Parker in his next adventure have been kept secret, but director Jon Watts previously described his trilogy as an extensive origin story, while producer Amy Pascal hinted to Deadline that the sequel would address the critical consequences of Peter's decision at the end of No Way Home. Pascal explained that the story needs to deal with Peter's choice to relinquish his identity as Peter Parker and focus solely on being Spider-Man because the burdens of his personal life had become too overwhelming, suggesting that this theme would be central to the next movie and that there is much room for Peter's character to evolve. A significant change in Spider-Man 4 involves Zendaya's MJ, as reported by Jeff Snyder earlier in the year, who noted Zendaya's role would be greatly reduced due to her commitments to other projects like Euphoria Season 3, Dune 3, and Christopher Nolan's adaptation of The Odyssey, which will see her reunited with Holland. With Zendaya's screen time limited, speculation grew that another major comic book character could take on a more prominent role, with rumors swirling about Gwen Stacy's appearance and the working title, Blue Oasis, fueling talk that the film draws inspiration from Jeff Loeb's celebrated 2002 series Spider-Man: Blue. The Cosmic Circus outlined that Spider-Man: Blue, a 6-issue comic from 2002, unfolds on Valentine's Day and follows a Spider-Man who is feeling blue or melancholy as he sits high above the Brooklyn Bridge, recounting the first time he met and fell in love with Gwen Stacy in a narrative that resonates with readers. Casting rumors reached a fever pitch when Deadline revealed Stranger Things star Sadie Sink would be joining Holland in Spider-Man 4, with initial reports linking her to Marvel's planned X-Men reboot as Jean Grey, but insiders now say she is more likely to portray a new take on Mary Jane Watson, potentially from a different universe. Comic Book Movie reported that Jeff Snyder, who first broke the news of Sink being in the running for Jean Grey, admitted surprise at her casting in Spider-Man 4 instead of the X-Men reboot and relayed that sources now expect her to play Watson, not Grey. Annabelle Adams, a character originating in Scarlet Spider Volume 2, appears first in issue number 1 as a bartender and part-time singer at Houston's Four Seasons Hotel and becomes entwined with Kane Parker, the Peter Parker clone who adopts the Scarlet Spider mantle. Her allegiances are ambiguous as she once destroyed a warning letter from Madam Web before vanishing and later becomes the subject of suspicion when the villain Shothra impersonates her in issue number 24. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline, Zendaya's Michelle Jones Watson lost all memory of Peter after Doctor Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, cast a spell to erase Peter Parker from everyone's mind, meaning that introducing Sadie Sink as a new romantic interest could further deepen Peter's character arc and reinforce the idea that Watts' trilogy was just the beginning of his superhero journey. Subscribe for more updates on the future of Spider-Man and the MCU. The MCU's Phase 5 reached its conclusion with Thunderbolts** in 2025, following the events of Captain America, Brave New World, and most recently Matt Shakman's The Fantastic Four. First Steps premiered in July 2025, bringing new heroes into the fold. Spider-Man: Brand New Day is locked in for July 31, 2026, with Avengers: Doomsday set to close out the year with a December release, promising a climactic crossover event for fans across the globe. Elsewhere in the MCU, Kevin Feige announced that Black Panther 3 is moving forward, marking a new chapter for Wakanda and coinciding with the departure of longtime producer Nate Moore after his work on Captain America: Brave New World. As anticipation builds for Spider-Man 4, discussions about Zendaya's reduced role and Sadie Sink's possible debut as Annabelle Adams or a multiversal Mary Jane Watson have sparked intense debate among fans, with many speculating on how the story will unfold and how these characters will impact Peter Parker's journey. The Spider-Man: Blue storyline, filled with nostalgia and emotional depth, could provide the perfect backdrop for Peter's next chapter as he navigates life without his closest friends and grapples with the responsibilities of being a hero. The introduction of new characters and the return of familiar faces are sure to make Spider-Man: Brand New Day a pivotal entry in the MCU, setting the stage for even greater challenges and adventures ahead. If you want to keep up with the latest on Spider-Man and other Marvel heroes, subscribe for exclusive insights and news. Fans continue to wonder how the absence of MJ will affect Peter's story and whether Gwen Stacy or Annabelle Adams will become central figures in his life, potentially reshaping the dynamics established in previous films. The MCU's evolving landscape, with new projects and characters on the horizon, promises to keep audiences engaged and excited for what's to come. As production ramps up and more details emerge, the speculation and excitement surrounding Spider-Man: Brand New Day only continue to grow, with fans eagerly awaiting the next installment in Peter Parker's cinematic saga. Stay tuned and subscribe for the latest developments, casting news, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world of Spider-Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.